Michael, Yvette, it's such a pleasure to welcome you back to Traquair. Yvette must know this, but Michael and I were together part of the founding troupe
Oh yes, we were.
of this
Quite
festival.
right.
And it's just beautiful to have you back. Let us talk about SOS. It's a wonderful initiative, but let me thank you first for that moving session. Listening to the both of you, having gone through the loss of a very good friend of mine who also decided to go for the side exit. Uh, Tell us about the initiative. Tell us about how festivals such as this one help getting other people involved in that initiative.
Well, this festival here is just another platform for us to spread the word about SOS Silence of Suicide. For us, the main impetus behind it is that we get the word out there wherever it is, nationally, globally. We want to spread the word about the work we do, because it's been shown that there is a huge demand for what we're facilitating, for what we're delivering. People, above all else, feel they're not heard, and more importantly, they're just not listened to. They don't have an outlet for their emotions, for their feelings. There is nowhere for them to go. They feel they're going to be judged. There is a terrible stigma around suicide, around mental well-being in general. It's the poor relation in terms of conversation. People just don't want to go there. They feel embarrassed. They feel awkward.
It's taboo.
Yeah, absolutely. There is a complete, and there shouldn't be. It's a bit like it used to be the same with cancer. Nobody said the C word. Everybody was going around saying, "Shh, don't say it. Don't say the word." And it's utterly ridiculous, because just because you don't talk about it doesn't stop it happening, and it certainly doesn't mean it doesn't exist. So for us, it's crucial that we get out there and we tell the world, really, about what we're doing, because there is a clear need for it, there is a demand for it. And today was proof of that. We're at, a comparatively smaller venue, but it was packed. And people were listening. They wanted to speak. They were intrigued about what everybody else had to say. And I think both you and I, we picked up on a few key points, didn't we?
Yeah,
people?
absolutely.
It was interesting.
For me, I'm learning all the time. Right from the beginning, the moment Anna, my daughter, took her life, I hadn't thought about suicide really. And after that, I thought long and hard about it. And one of the most difficult things, which is the subject of Yvette's poem that she read, and one of the speakers, one of the people who were there, one of the attendees, was saying the same thing. It's about, it's a slight remove from mental well-being and mental illness and mental anything. This person was saying about some relations of hers, and we talked to her later, and it had happened 10 years ago, so it's some time ago that this had happened. But what she was saying was, my relation wasn't mad. He wasn't mentally incapable. He took a decision, calculated decision to take his own life. He left presents for everybody on their respective beds and so on. So he knew what he was doing. That's my daughter. She knew what she was doing. She wanted to do it. Her reasoning may not be reasoning I'd agree with, but then many of us take decisions we don't agree with each other. But that's the one thing I've managed to do, is to say to myself, and that's Yvette's poem is the same, that was her decision. And people up to now have been saying, "Are you all right?" Of course it wasn't her decision. She's out of her mind, that's why. And I go, sorry, I can't come to terms with her if she's out of her mind. I come to terms with it because I think she wasn't out of her mind, and I must respect that. And in that way, I visualise, so this is a bit sort of romantic, sort of sitting there and saying, "Hey Dad, come on, just get on with your life, And she would say that to me, and I'd probably say, "Yeah, okay, Anna, you're probably right." So I've been able to move on. I mean, it's thanks to the network and Yvette and so on that's helped a great deal. But there we did come up against somebody else who had exactly the same experience. And so I'm getting the feeling today of what I think all the people we've helped feel. I feel, that's all right then.
I think at festivals such as this, it's really good when people come together to talk about a subject such as death. Okay, so take the suicide out of it. Death in any form. Obviously, we're hearing a lot about conflict here. War zones and women in conflict, and death is a daily occurrence. Everybody is hit by it over and over again. It's not just a one-off. So it's a traumatic experience, because I think the one thing it has in common is that it's unexpected. People don't have time to think about it and assess the information in their mind. If you know that someone's going to die because they're poorly, you can half prepare yourself for it. But in times of conflict, and suicide is a time of conflict, it's that all of a sudden, bang, it's a trauma. And how do you deal with it? So coming to a festival such as this, where you've got great big audiences sitting there listening, it's fantastic, because it not only gives people a chance to talk, but I think it also hopefully creates an empathy within the audience, and they can put themselves in the shoes of the people that are experiencing these things, and hopefully carry that forward and again spread the words themselves.